no custom settings, and check this out. Have you ever wanted that camera background blur? Well, guess what? You can do that right here. 1/2-inch Sony sensor. Now let's get started and see what this thing can do. Hello, this is Eric of Spark E-Tech, and welcome to my review of the Emeet 4K SmartCam S800. Now let's check out what's inside the box. Sorry. Inside the box, we have more boxes, which includes a USB cable Type-C to Type-A. Also included is an instruction manual, and of course, our webcam. On the back side, we have a USB Type-C connection, and on the front, we have a privacy screen. That's open and that's closed. And let's not forget the way you're going to connect it on top of your monitor, which can swivel, raise out, and adjust a bit. And on the bottom, we have a standard 1/4 inch thread. One thing I didn't tell you is this entire time you've been actually watching with a camera overhead, the same camera. I got 2 of these. They sent me one for a review, so full disclosure there. Emeet sent me one of these cameras, and it's the one I'm actually showing right now, and this is the one I personally purchased just to give me 2 cameras. Now you know. Of course, one thing that matters is the software and the settings. We got to go through those because it makes a difference. When we get our camera, one of the first things we're going to do is update our software. So this device needs to be updated. I'm going to click update now so we can get the software updated for this. Going through the settings, here is our metering, and this will be the metering of our brightness and our color for us. In my case, I actually have this set to manual brightness and manual focus point. Oh wait, maybe I don't on this one. Let's see, I'll go down through the settings and find out. Now we have our focus where we can change it to manual focus or autofocus. We have our zoom in and zoom out. And then if we go down here, we have our advanced settings such as HDR, our video modes, standard, portrait, object, vivid, bright. I'll go to customize. And on customize, I can customize our setting. So this should be where it was before. Now I don't have it manual focus, so it's going to focus on my hand and then back. Let's see if I get to focus on my hand. Wow, this can focus up close. My hand is literally 2 inches away from the camera. That's crazy. And we have this auto brightness setting here. So if I change something, I believe it's going to change brightness anyways. It did seem to do so before. So in my case, I left it off because of that. But either way, we got our brightness of our scene. Wow, we can make it really dark. I like my setting right here for my particular scene about contrast. We got our sharpness. It gets grainy as we go up. We can see that static and it gets really soft. So our detail is going to be really washed out in comparison. So if I want to read this, I want some sharpness, of course. So I'm going to put it to like a medium. And that should be the perfect cross between detail and not having too much grain. Saturation will be the saturation in color. So if I get my memory card, for instance, and I want black and white, or I want really strong color gold in terms of how much color punch I want. Tone, so we can change our color tones altogether so it can make my gold look some other color altogether. Okay. And then we have auto white balance, which does a fairly good job, but if you move around, wait, that's not going nice. Don't know what's going on there, but normally it gets the color properly, but I think it's because my tone is set wrong right now. Go down to 128, I believe was my tone before. And we're a little closer to where we should be. And auto white balance, if I turn that off, let's see what happens. We're this color tone, and we go down to, it seems almost like it's backwards because I think it should be blue on this number and yellowish on, you can see the color scale right there, see? But either way, it does work. I like that this works, so I can actually set everything manually, and I can play around between both cameras should I want to. The other camera's laying down right now, but yeah, that's neat stuff. That's very basic settings. We can also put a microphone noise reduction on or off. Let's compare full brightness possible on the Meet versus Insta. And we have more contrast on the Meet. We can see that on the Insta, despite being custom, it is more washed out. And colors are brighter, but it's exaggerated brighter. The Meet's more accurate here. And let's turn the noise reduction off on the Meet here, so we can hear the sound of the Meet. Noise reduction is off. And let's go back to both cameras, side by side, Insta, Emeet, low light. The Meet does a really good job of low light. Let's turn the lights down even more. I have one light on, that's it. Insta does a good job compensating light-wise, but does exaggerate. My shadow is really grainy on the Insta. We can see that big time. It is getting a bit grainy on the Meet, but not nearly as much as the Insta has gone down to. If I'm really bored, I'll choose to be a Smurf or whatever color I choose to be. Anyways, you can actually have a little bit of fun doing your Teams meeting or game streaming if you really feel like doing something. Just imagine you're doing a video of the Hulk or something like that, or Gamora. There you go. Why not fit the theme? I'm just having a little too much fun here. Let's continue on. How am I coming through? With noise reduction off in my studio, I boosted by 5 decibels in OBS recording, so the volume out of this device should actually be good in terms of really not needing any boosted volume whatsoever. This could be great for Teams meetings, just talk on the webcam, OBS, game streaming even. So if you're a streamer, you could use this. Though if you want the best audio possible, I'd recommend a separate microphone, of course. But the audio out of here is not too shabby. Now, how does this compare to my studio camera in a low light situation? For my studio camera, I'll be tuning it and setting it manually. Otherwise, I'll be fairly dark. Right now we're seeing the Meet webcam versus my studio camera. Obviously get the studio camera, right? Sure. You can get 20 of the Meet cameras for this one camera. 20 of them, like 20, if you didn't get that correctly. My studio camera, just the lens and the body alone, no other accessories included, just those two things, not the memory card, is $3,500 US versus $155. I had to first actually turn on HDR in software. If you record the software screen itself, it is 1080p and not 4K. Now let's see what happens when I turn the HDR off. Technically, the shadows should be different. HDR mode is turned off. Is there any difference in the recording quality? Well, you let me know in playback, won't you? This is Eric of Spark E-Tech. What are your thoughts on this webcam? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and help this channel grow. And if you are already subscribed or are subscribing right now, then you, yes, you are awesome. Thanks again, and have yourselves a most wonderful day.